I do know there are some groups of family who carry out home program. And when we say home program, some of them are actually at home, but some of them, they somehow set up sort of their own center, and usually they use a curriculum, a high school curriculum from Australia. And I wonder if I could get some information about this group and pass the information to you.
I'll be much obliged. Thank you.
Can give your address there. Thank you. Can I get someone from there? Is there anyone from there? Yes, please. After that, yeah.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hannah, I'm a speech therapist. Just a short yes or no question from Dr. Andy Shi. Is there any evidence based on alternative treatment of acupuncture for ASD kids? Thank you.
Any evidence for, so the question is any evidence for acupuncture treatment of ASD? We actually look into alternative complementary medicine approaches, and acupuncture is one of the things we looked at. There's been some studies with conflicting outcomes. You know, some indicated it has helped, and others, you know, said that it's really ineffective. So I think at this point, the evidence level, I know you asked for a one-word answer, but I'm going to give you a little more than that. So at this point, the evidence level is not clear, but I think, you know, more research is probably needed.
Thank you. Please. Professor.
Hello, my name is Yasmin. I'm the director of Simeon Special Education Regional Center. And one thing I would like to inform everybody here in this hall is that one of our role is to do training. So we will do training, inshallah, and also workshop on autism. As I've told Datin Sri last night, I will be running together with Permata Kurnia. So this is one thing that we will do. We will do training and workshop for teachers, for head of schools, for parents as well. And we will invite Connie, Andy, as well as Young and everybody else here. Because we are in an international organization and we can do that. So whenever we have the training, please, the head of schools, do not send representatives. Please come yourself, okay? Because we have the experience. And one more thing, for those from the Southeast Asia, you can write to us telling us that you would like to have the training in your country, because we have in-country courses that we can do it in your country with the expenses of Simeon Sen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So that's another avenue for training. Yeah, please. Yes, please.
Yes, I want to make a statement of thanks, especially to acknowledge that, by the way, I'm a parent with a child with autism who is 22 years old, and also have been a practitioner for 14 years in an NGO. And I want to thank especially the Ministry of Women Community for giving us the chance to actually set up a TASCA in Cebu for children with autism last year. So this project has been on since June, and the school has started in January. So things are happening in this country. So it's our hope for every children. But as I say, I think we need really time to give them a chance to spearhead what we are doing here. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. My name is Teo. I have a son in a mainstream school. He's in standard 3. I would like to appeal to the Ministry of Education to pay more attention in training of the headmaster or the teachers who are running the school, but they are ignorant of the status of the children in their school. I raised a question to my headmistress that I would like to have my teacher, my ABA teacher, to observe my son in the school. And her response was, "You are being too worrisome, you are too exaggerating." I had attended special course more than 10 years ago and I'm an expert in this. I was wondering in my heart, 10 years ago the knowledge is how, and 10 years later the knowledge is how. So the Ministry of Education should have implement courses to make it compulsory for the headmistress, the teachers to attend courses so that they are more aware of the status of the children in the mainstream schools. It is so ignorant of her to say that I am an expert. Deep in my heart, I was thinking I attended more courses than you, but I just kept quiet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the second thing I would like to ask Dr. Andy on, what is your opinion on biomedics and chelation? I have observed a few friends who are so into it, and I'm very skeptical on that. And I feel sorry for the children who are being subjects of victims to this chelation therapy, where we read news that they are deaf, I don't know whether how effective they are, but I feel the parents are doing very dangerous act by subjecting their children to all this therapy, and they are now a hip in southern area. And I hope that the expert like Dr. Shi can share some opinions or some ideas so that parents don't go into all these therapies ignorantly and subject their children to all unnecessary therapies. It is a lot of money and it is like, I don't know how effective they are.
So I think we touched on this subject a little bit yesterday. With all complementary alternative medicines or approaches to treating autism, I think it's really important. First of all, I completely understand the desire of the parents to do everything they can for their children, and but I think it's important for parents to become very educated consumers. Because there are many alternatives and options out there, and all of them touting, a miracle cure for their children. And and you're right. Some things carry, all these alternative options. They're not all created equal. Some potentially poses more health hazard or health risk to the child than others. Chelation doesn't have a very good track record, unfortunately. In the US, for instance, there's been a couple of cases, high-profile cases, where the child actually have died from chelation treatment. And I think if the parents were to become a little more educated and read and become more familiar with the current understanding about autism, I think they will recognize that, based on current understanding of the biology and the causes of autism, it's hard to draw a association between chelation and a way to treat autism. And all the evidence that we have at this point in terms of what's been effective, has involved behavioral intervention and medical treatment of co-occurring medical condition. So I think the bottom line really is that, understand that you want to do everything you can for your child, but I think along with that carries a significant obligation for you to really learn as much as possible, so you become a critical consumer of the options that are available to you, because that's really is at the end of the day in the best interest of your child and your family and yourself.
Thank you. Yes. Do we have anyone on that side? Yes, please. And then.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I'm a parent of a 6-year-old boy. He's an autistic child. Okay, I first found out that he is an autistic child when he was about 2.5 years old, because there wasn't any eye contact and so on. I went to a Qigong therapy. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's spelled Qigong. So there's something like a chopstick, but it's so small, and this man used to do something like a rubbing behind the back of his head. So it really improved my son's eye contact. Before that, there wasn't any eye contact. There's no attention at all. But after a year or so, or less than that, there's more eye contact, and he was looking at us. There was a lot of difference. But the practitioner who was doing this for my son has passed away recently, and we couldn't do much. And why I'm saying this is because there's no speech yet. There's sound, but there's no meaningful words, not even a mommy or daddy. I was wondering whether will there be a speech? Can I hear my son say something in future, or will there be no speech? Do I need to send him to a speech therapist, an occupational therapist? What do I really do? I'm not really sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. How old was your child? 6 or 8?
Yes, he is 6.
6.
So I think I showed a video of a little boy who was 5.5 who made absolutely no sounds. And you know, if you don't talk for that many years, you don't have a lot of confidence in the voice that you might have. So it takes a lot of good therapy, I think, to help a child learn to use their voice and to find that confidence. And it can be done. If, you know, I think most children, I can't say all, but probably the majority of children can make some sounds, and then sounds turn into words. But the first thing is to try to get them to make any sounds, and you probably need a good speech therapist, or if you only get speech therapy twice a month, that's not enough. So you probably need a good behavioral therapist who can help you. But I would certainly hold out hope that you will hear your child speak.
Thank you.
I am Dr. Mangala. I'm a parent of a 34-year-old young man. In the year he was 6, and I've seen many practitioners to know what is wrong with my child, but I could get no answers on my child. I studied in the local university to be a doctor, but there was nothing taught about autism or ASD. And by accident, when my child was 6, I read about autism, and I felt he has all the symptoms of autism. I took him to the doctors and said my son got autism. And then I searched for practitioners, and all I heard that there was Wisma Harapan, who's dealing with autistics. And so my son had to go to Wisma Harapan with shadow aid. Since then, parents put a lot of pressure, and I started NAZOM, and NAZOM had a lot of negotiations with Ministry of Education, where inclusive education was approved, but it took place as a special class, which is not really included in the school. It ran just like a special class with child minding in the class. But today, there's so much of progress in autism, there's so much of awareness in autism, but yet the right people need more education to diagnose autism at the right time. And I think a lot of doctors are not educated about autism. It is not part of the curriculum in the medical schools to teach about autism. I think that must be improved. Now that our Prime Minister and our First Lady is interested in autism, that is the best news for the nation, because there's much more to follow. What happens after the age of 6 if you can't go into the mainstream school and adapt into the mainstream school, they still have a right to education. And what happens when they are in adolescence and they reach adulthood and they pass the age of going to any school and still they need help? That is not being addressed in this country at all. I think that needs to be addressed. So I formed a foundation called Impian. We are still struggling to train adolescents and adults for jobs and to place them in jobs. I think that must be looked in because there are many adults and it is more difficult to live with the adolescent or adult than to live with a child with autism. I think that needs to be addressed. And there is, in all other countries, sheltered homes where as the parents age, there is a future for the child in a sheltered home. There are residential farms where the adults have a meaning to their life in these farms. We do not have such facilities. I've been knocking at the doors of many ministries. I still will continue to knock. I hope all of us here can be an advocacy body to fight for the rights of the adolescents and adults who suffer they miss the boat. And they also have the right to education and the life like any one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think there could have been no better ending to this forum than to hear from the words and struggles of a pioneer, an advocate, and a volunteer, and a mother. So thank you so much to all of you for your participation. I'm asked to stop. I'm so sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for all your...
Just a few minutes.
Very quick, very quick.
Yeah, very quick. No, I just want to share that I am quite happy because I know that I belong, no? I really belong within the group because all of us have single goal, which is for the benefit of all the children with ASD, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, of course. No? So, and I thank the government of the Malaysia for sponsoring this kind of seminar. Definitely, it's free. No seminar fee at all. And there's a question a while ago that after this, what will happen? And the thing is, just like what, like the theme of the seminar, autism is not a tragedy, ignorance is. So the challenge is, what are we going to do after this? So I would like also to quote what Dave said yesterday. It's not a tragedy when it's a tragedy rather, when we don't do something, right? So after this, hopefully, in our own little way, we find ourselves, what do you call this, telling our community what is really autism. No? And it's not really a tragedy if they have really an open mind in accepting because they are also part of the community. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, spread the message and spread the message. That's the, the message that we all have to take back today. So thank you so much to all of you for your participation and thank you to all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Honorable Dr. Raj Karim and the panel for fielding the questions from parents. We have come to the closing ceremony of our seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please remain at your seat. There is one announcement here. To those who have yet to return the receiver or headset that has been borrowed yesterday, kindly return to the counter beside the main entrance of Hall A. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we seek your cooperation to kindly seat. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We are going to start with the closing ceremony in a short while, so we seek your cooperation to kindly, please, fill in the front seats. We seek your cooperation to kindly fill the front seats. Thank you.